Here's the moment of truth. First time he's driving the car. He's coming from a Type R, so there's quite a bit of a difference.
That's for sure.
I'm gonna let him drive it for a little bit, and I'm gonna ask him his opinion after he gets like 15 minutes of driving time in. All right, Lawrence. So what do you think so far? You've been driving it around a little bit. What's your opinion?
It's definitely not a Type R, first and foremost. But that being said, the handling is absolutely superb on this car with all the added work you've done to it. You know, I'm not too much into suspension like you are, so you can name off everything you have done. But
yeah, it's just a ground control coilover with KYB AGX shocks. Got a strut bar in the front, and I'm going to be doing some more tuning to it. But for now, it's just basically just that I got installed. So it does feel really, really good, I think.
Yeah, it definitely handles like a beast, you know. After driving a Type R for almost a year now, though, I feel like, you know, 300 horsepower is kind of the number you want to be around in any type of sports car. So
we got about 220 in this, but it's all the way up in the rev range. It's way up there. And it's got like 150 foot-pounds of torque, which is not really that much. So it's a very big difference from the Type R for sure.
Yeah, but like I said, the handling is just, I could feel it. When I cut the wheel, I could feel the whole car moving. It might, you know, when you're driving the Type R and you cut the wheel really hard, that back end likes to swing around a lot. And even if you're on the brakes, you know, it's really kind of dangerous. But in this car, I just feel like it's right at home. It's firmly planted in the corners the whole time. You know, I don't really have to do too much countermeasures to fix anything, you know.
So you were saying about the handling?
The handling is just superb in this car with the suspension setup. It's just, you know, it's not like the Type R where the ass end likes to swing around a lot. You know, if you're heavy on the brakes, you know, it just goes. It hugs through each corner.
And that's with terrible, terrible tires on it. So that goes to show you the Prelude has some really good chassis handling in it.
Somebody's slowing this down.
It's all right.
Now, if I had 350, I would potentially pass. But
so it's definitely weird for me to be a passenger in this car. Like you guys know, I've owned this car for 12 years. I've driven it. I've put about 200,000 miles on this car. It has 240,000 miles on it. So I put about 200 of that, and it's been a blast for me for the last 12 years. But I've definitely haven't really spent that much time on the passenger seat, so it's really kind of weird for me to do it. But it was fun. And with the new suspension that the car has, and the new bushing and things like that I installed, you can definitely tell that the stiffness in the chassis is still there. I was definitely bouncing around a lot, so I couldn't get that much footage. I'm using my cell phone right now. So I was bouncing around. I was going kind of crazy with the bounciness, and that's all right. So Lawrence, you drove the car around for a while. I want to ask you, what do you think of the Prelude?
Prelude, let's see. This car has a lot of miles, first and foremost, you know. And that's just a testament to Honda, you know, when they built this car, what a great car this was. I mean, the shifts are smooth, and even just the whole chassis, it's in great condition for how old it is. And the suspension work you did, it's truly tremendous because the car handles so much better. It handles like a dream. You know, it hugs the corners, pulls right through them. There's no play in it. It's just great work that you've done to this car. You know, the only thing I would say that you need to do is maybe wash it.
This is true. I don't wash this car pretty much at all, ever. Hey, maybe you'll wash it.
I might.
Take some time to wash it up. It hasn't been washed. I'll tell you what, hasn't been washed for at least 3 years.
Yeah.
A washcloth has not touched the car. So what do you think? You think it's going to be a good race car for me?
Absolutely. I think, you know, maybe if you decide to do a little bit of engine work, you'll really surprise yourself, really, because 220 horse that it has now, it's definitely not the 300 from the Type R.
I know, and I'm actually thinking about getting some tuning software either from Honda or Neptune. Still thinking about it, but we'll definitely be exploring those options.
Yeah.
All right, Lawrence, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate you giving me your input on the Prelude. I appreciate when people go ahead and drive the Prelude, and appreciate a good piece of Honda engineering and a little bit of my elbow grease as well. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace out.